Okay, so making a live at middle of the night vibes again. Really annoys me though when I have these furry bits sticking out and that's all I can see. So bear with me while I deal with my OCD with my fizzy bits. So you can see why I wear headscarves a lot because they're just so fizzy. I actually have curly hair. It's kind of curly. It's kind of curly. It is curly, I suppose. It's wavy. It's definitely wavy. Yeah. So I am coming on here to talk about a few things actually. One is why I'm doing so many lives at the middle of the night. First of all, it's way more convenient for me to do a fucking do a live than to make a video and then post it tomorrow. That's like double working. Why would I bother? So that's why I'm live. And the other thing is why this time of night? And it's because I hurt my back. So it's another thing to talk about. I hurt my back 5 months ago, quite badly actually. And I kind of was having some issues with my physical body. So I've had a lot of issues with my physical body over my life. I've had a lot of injuries to do with horses, not specifically horses doing anything to me, not their fault, but more kind of just accidents that have happened and things that have happened that have had consequently affected my body. I've had I think only one direct injury from a horse, but that was, well, I've had more than that, but one that was quite intentional, and that was what, a long time ago, and now I'm thinking of loads of things. But anyway, that one was kind of serious and a long time ago, and I know exactly why it happened. But anyway, we're not here to talk about horses. But because of that, and kind of interestingly, when I look back to when I was younger, like a kid, like under 12, I don't know, I fell off horses a lot because I've been riding since I was like five, 6. So basically, yeah, and I was riding a lot since I was oh my god, it's mental. Looking back on it now, it's absolutely mental because I was riding a lot since I was 7 and obsessed with ponies already by then. And then I got my first pony when I was 9, so that kind of propelled the quantity of riding. So anyway, and I wasn't just riding, but I was working in the stables and doing stuff, since quite young age. So I was very active, and I was always just a very active person. Now that's, I don't know if we call that ADHD, just being active, but that's, that is maybe some way to relate to it. But I was very outdoorsy, active. I was just an active person. I liked being active. I still love being active. Anyway, so flip on a few years. Over those years, I had injuries from a lot of different things, but one injury that I had was from the labor aspect of horses, because there's a lot of heavy lifting, there's a lot of labor. So then combination between I'm like, this is a lot about horses. This should be on my horse page. But anyway, we're here now. And so a lot of the horse people understand the situation, so I don't have to explain it. Yeah, so, sorry, it is late. I am yawning. So, a lot of injuries. And then, I kind of had other injuries, I suppose, from dancing as well. And or maybe kind of that I would flare up injuries. There was just like a few things then that would happen. I was doing acrobatic stuff and circus stuff, and so yeah, just like my body has been doing a lot all my life. And then because I worked a lot with horses, it was a lot of physicality. And then on top of that, I was dancing a lot. So there was just a lot of physicality. And, you know, if you're not like working with, you know, like getting paid to work as a profession, you kind of treat your body a bit different. Like I've totally learned how not to do those things now. But like, even though I was in the health industry, there was still this sense, and I suppose this does fall into a bit of an ADHD thing as well, of this like kind of being fine with the overdoing. And it was just something that like people used to say to me, like, how do you get so much done in a day? And I was like, I don't know, I just don't really stop moving, you know. And I multitask a lot. So over the years, I slowed down a lot. If you're on my mailing list, you might have got my email about that. If you're not on my mailing list, go and get on my mailing list. There's a few links there in my bio. And if you don't know how, just DM me and say, can I get on your email list? Or just write email list. So I came on about that because then I hurt my back back in April. And I would say that this year before April was already stressful. And then my belief and pattern that I can see is that when you have high stress or high tiredness or high kind of like there's something pulling at you a lot, then the amount of possibility of injury increases. That's it, kind of, I think a lot of people would know that, but that's definitely my belief. And that's, for me, you know, it's just kind of a natural way that the world kind of regulates or takes care of you in some weird way. Anyway, so I had that injury, and then because of my dynamic, I've talked about this before. Anyway, skip on 5 months later, I still have that injury, and it's been improving, way more improving than originally, but it is still there. It's still one of those things, and treating it with lots of different aspects, but it is like an ongoing slow process, which I knew back in April, that I just know from getting injuries over my life. I just like, I can tell. It's like, you know, I am a medicine woman as well. I'm meant to know how the body works, and I pretty much do. I've been, you know, learning body anatomy and muscles and all that jazz since I was a teenager. So it's like, yeah, I'm just really aware of that. So it does mean that I kind of go like a little bit like, okay, and then I go a little bit back. Now, why am I sharing this? One, it's always when you have injury, sickness, illness, you have an act of surrender. It's just kind of an act of surrender. There's the other side of the surrender to that, which is the act of the process. Like, you know, how do you process the act of surrender? Always, nearly with everyone in this, the rise of frustration and I don't know, anxiety might come up for some people, I suppose, as well, depending on what their life was before, but depression would be a big one, low mood, low self-esteem, like all the things that kind of go with the low energy. And then when your body's healing, even if you feel good, a lot of the energy goes into the healing. So therefore, you don't really have a lot of excess energy or a lot of high joy or high bliss, because it's naturally just the energy has to go into the healing. which is good. And so it's a real deep learning time, and I feel like I'm a bit of a professional at it at this point. And I still feel like it gets easier over time, but in some ways it gets harder because it's like you kind of want to just not have it there, and it is there. That's just the way it is. So you just kind of have to suck it up and deal with it. And it doesn't really matter, how much money you have, how much, the best doctors in the world, or I don't know, like, yeah, just, I suppose, like, it doesn't really matter in those cases. Your body can only heal at a certain pace. So it's really a universal pattern of healing. Now, of course, if you don't have access to certain medical or certain holistic aspects or certain tools or dietary, there's a lot of things, or cold or hot, and there's loads of other aspects, then of course, if you're going through some really bad crisis in the world and you're part of that and you have medical issues, then of course the healing will be near impossible or very, 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 very slow because you're dealing with other stressors. So, it's universal, but it depends on the world situation and your situation. I just want to add in for all the people that don't have maybe the comfort to just rest. And so I am in a place of privilege in aspects. And so that's why I'm actually up at this hour of the night, because for me, flipping back over to ADHD, I need to move. And when my back is starting to be in a bad place, I can't do a lot of moving. So I can't do a lot of walking. I can't do maybe a lot of activity around the house, even if I wanted to stay at home. Like, I can't do a yoga practice. I can't do a movement practice. I can't really do any kind of gentle practices. I can't do gardening practice. You get my drift. I can't do much. And I can do basic life stuff, but I can't do extra stuff. So that is actually, for me, I understand that a lot of people do basic life stuff, but I don't do just basic life stuff. I do a lot of stuff every day. And that feels really good for me. It's not like I burn myself out every day or anything like that. No, not at all. It's a very healthy practice. And I actually realized that I had a lovely bath earlier, and which you would think that would put you to sleep. I had lovely essential oils, organic of course, and Epsom salts. But that didn't happen. But what did I do? I'm just staring at my plants now because I don't want to be looking at my phone. But like, in the bath, I was thinking, what was I freaking thinking? Oh, for feck's sake, I totally forgot about it now in that little illusion of staring at the plants. But anyway, I'll come back to that in a minute. But, so yeah, when I'm not moving around, I have this real, natural, really annoying thing that I get. I can't fall asleep, and it's so annoying. It comes with some like serotonin, dopamine balance thing that happens to me, and I'm a really sensitive person to just realized that's a bit low cut there. I'm a really sensitive person to caffeine, to sugar, to stimulants, to movies. Like, who else out there watches a movie and cannot sleep after? Even if it's a lovely movie, even if it's comedy and romance or something lovely, and not like a scary thing or an action movie, I can't sleep after a movie. It's ridiculous. So yeah, all the kind of fun things that people do tend to be things that I can't I can't do a lot of them. like have a coffee, have cacao. I can't really drink cacao. I can drink it very seldomly. Any caffeine kind of things, to be honest. Matcha latte is not so bad. I love them. I love a lot of things, but like even the healthy stimulus aren't really my thing. Sugar, obviously, but even sweet stuff, like, you know, if I eat a lot of like healthy sugars, like that doesn't work. Fruit juices, there's so many things. Like, I'm super sensitive to stimulants, really. And then when I have, you know, if I can't move around a lot, and that's on a normal day, I'm sensitive to stimulants, but if I can't move around a lot, I have naturally quite, I suppose it's kind of the fire energy, the pitta energy in me that is kind of like stuck in me, and my body, I notice a pattern. My body goes, okay, I could be tired, I could be like, yeah, I could go to sleep, and then it'll lie down, and my brain is like, no, we didn't do our activity today, so you shall not sleep. But I can't go and do my activity, so I have to just be like, okay. And then there's just many ways that I could try to sleep, and sometimes I can, and the other times I just know I will be literally lying there for 5 hours, and I'll be like, okay. So then I decide to get up and do something. And often this is also the really annoying thing, because people go, oh, read a book, and I'm like, my eyes are actually really tired, so even I could close my eyes and I'd lie there like this and I'll still be awake, but my eyes are too tired to actually read the book. So it's ridiculous. Anyway, it's really funny. So anyway, it's why I'm here now at this hour of the night, and why I've been getting a few of these lately is because my pattern has been a little bit jumpety, because I've had a little bit of a setback with my back in the last weeks, and my sleep pattern is a little bit jagged. Yeah. So anyway, which is really annoying, because I'm a person that has to work really hard on my sleep pattern anyway, like on a normal day. So then when it gets really out of kilter like this, I just have to surrender. It's another surrendering practice. It's just like, it is the way it is, let it go. And I just know that from before, instead of getting upset about it or popping a pill like a lot of people do, like, don't take sleeping pills. Just think it's mental. And I know for all those green leaf smokers out there, that is not a good practice for me, 100% not, because actually if I do that, my sleep gets worse, because I will fall asleep, but I will not be able to sleep the next night, and it basically means I become dependent on it. And dependency on something, even if it's natural and good, because that is good medicine, it actually isn't a positive dependency. You do want your body to go into natural sleep patterns. So sleep is often something I do help clients with, weirdly enough, because I have loads of knowledge anyway as a herbalist and other things that help sleep, but it's because I've also had to work on it really hard for myself, kind of harder than other people in other ways. So yeah, and I had insomnia really bad in my life, like nothing to do with injuries, but actually had like stress insomnia, like depressive anxiety type of insomnias as well when I was younger. So therefore I kind of know a lot of the different sleep issues. And then if it's a full moon, oh my god, that's just another story. Yeah. So that's why I want to talk about sleep stuff, and I'm actually getting lovely and tired I knew I was going to be getting lovely and tired before I came on here. I was at that edge, but I did feel the call to share this because it's present for me, and it's easier for me to share something when it's present rather than saying I'll share it tomorrow, because then I won't. It's kind of an ADHD thing. It's like, I know people hate labels, but I kind of like, it really just sums up the non-neurotypical person that I am, that I'm just about presence, actually. It's kind of funny because that's kind of what I teach as well, is about being present. Yeah, and it's kind of funny because people are like kind of referring to ADHD people as not present, but actually I'm like, I think we're kind of really present. It's really interesting. Yeah, it's funny because, it's like, a typical like person that's looking out the window in school and stuff like that normally has ADHD. Well, it might not be ADHD, but they're just non-attentive and whatever. And it's like quite funny because I just frankly found it all quite boring, and so I didn't pay attention. But like my head was never out the window for our class. You know what I mean? Because I was present, because I enjoyed it. So it's just, we're a little bit more fucking honest, to be honest. We're just more honest. That's kind of why I say like a true teller, because I kind of can't really avoid it sometimes. And that can be a bit of a flaw. What else did I want to say here? There was a few other things. Oh yeah, about my body in the bath. That's what I was thinking about. Because I was looking at my body. I was like, to be fair, my body is amazing because I haven't been like training or fit. Like normally on a good day, I would do 10,000 steps and activities, exercise, not just walking. And maybe more, 20,000 on another day, or maybe 50 or 60,000 on another day. And then maybe some days like 2,000 to 3,000. That's like a really kind of maybe resting, or like I have to just be online a lot that day or in front of my laptop for whatever reason. And or I'm sick. Maybe there's like 1,000 steps on a sick day. So I was thinking like, in fairness, my body does really well. Like I don't really put on a lot of weight. And my dog is choking in the background. He's old. He does weird things and sneezes and stuff. God love him. He's cute. He's like in his 80s. So, you okay, Woody? Yes, you're so cute. It's gonna make loads of noise. Yeah, there you go. You know how they say when a human sneezes, we have 1/8 of an orgasm? I'm wondering when a dog sneezes, does they have an orgasm? Well, something like that. I know they're not meant to have orgasms, but do they have some bliss feeling? Funny. I probably think so. Sneezing feels good anyway, so yeah, probably. Or maybe it's like total suffering for them. Who knows? He's still at it. So yeah, I was talking about the body stuff, and basically I was like, credit to myself, right? Because I want to put this out, like, credit to you, like credit ourselves, the good things as well as the bad things. So obviously, I'm submitting to my injury, yada yada yada, but then I have this. He's making loads of noise. Sorry. This whole like, actually my body is quite good considering it's had 5 months of no exercise. 5 months, that's quite a lot. And yeah, like I definitely noticed like my strength level is really low because I can't, especially lifting anything heavy or just being kind of, yeah, that's a really big one. Not even heavy, but light stuff is heavy for me, or it's a no-go. So I kind of, funny enough, find that like I'm getting dazed by my plants here again. But yeah, just I'm obviously tripping out here, but like how I'm quite happy with my body. And I was thinking about it then. I was like, yeah, especially because it's getting older. Like when you're younger, things are different. When I'm getting older as well, and like your body does change. Like I wouldn't say I'm a perimenopause person, but I'm pre-perimenopause. That's my age time. And like it's interesting because that's just your body starts to change. And I look at all these people that have like their 20s and 30 bodies, and I'm like, oh, I miss my 2030 body. It's like such a different body. It's so interesting. So that's quite funny. And so I was talking about like how I totally accept that and totally accept the aspect of having my body that is quite happy considering my injury and considering it's had 5 months of resting in some shape or form. I wouldn't say I've been resting because I have been busy, but still not its normal activity. And before that 5 months, it wasn't super fit because I was focused on finishing my degree, and therefore that took a lot of time online or sitting. And so there's just a lot of like, I wasn't like fully fit 5 months ago. And yeah, like my full fitness would have been back in 2021. I still kind of kept up a lot of fitness 2020, 2021, and then it started naturally going down with other things that were going on in my life. 2022, so 2022 started changing. 2023, which was last year, I was like, God, I really noticed. And then 2024, so that's why I was like, I'm going to go back and get really active now for 2024 and get back to a lot of practices and stuff. And then I got my injury in April, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So yeah, talk about like your plans getting derailed. It's kind of funny. And then and it wasn't just like get back and get fit, because I don't really mind like, oh, get fit, but it's like get back just doing things I love, like horse riding, dancing, rollerblading, loads and loads and loads of different things. Like I went on a holiday recently, and I could have went kayaking because we have kayaks. It's like, I can't kayak with my back, it's like, no, I can't kayak. So it's just like simple stuff that I still can't do. So then, why am I telling all this is that coming to diet, like the reason why, I don't like pile on a load of weight, or I don't, I suppose weight is probably a big thing when people get injured, is I definitely piled on weight from stress and injury back more June, April, May, June. Oh my God, it seems like miles away. And then it kind of, as I felt a bit better, definitely was coming off. But I think there was more stress as well finishing my degree. But like, and my back was really bad. Like there was a combo of a lot of things going on there. But like, it's easy for me to not overeat even when I'm in injury. And I've never really, I really love food, and it's really a testament of my work that I've done with food. And I'm saying this because food is really our medicine, and food is really our way to health. Like there's no question about it. Like food is such a root of health. And when you feel like shit, or you've an injury, or you've an illness, or you have low self-worth, or they're not motivated, or you have anxiety or depression or suicidal thoughts or anything, like, good food is probably not going to be on your mind. It's harder. It is really harder. So it's easy for me to say, it's easy for me to look after myself with good food or herbs or not overeat or anything. And definitely 100% I'm like way more susceptible to bad willpower when I have like an injury and illness. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, like I don't actually even care. That's kind of sometimes the attitude, even though actually when you are ill in any shape or form or at dis-ease, the best thing to do is actually to eat really well. Like, it speeds up your recovery. And as a practitioner, I know that, but sometimes it's just simply hard. So yeah, I was just giving grace to and thanks to my body for kind of that, but also for my own self for like going, this is kind of, years and years and years of kind of eating well and having a good practice allows me to fall into still a good practice even when I'm injured. Yeah, and I'm homage to the herbs always. So I'm gonna go. And I will talk to you soon. I am now tired. And yeah, you can catch the full replay. Slanta, 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 slanta. And if you aren't on my YouTube channel, then you can pop on my YouTube channel, because that's also where I post also these things. And what else do I do? I know I'm doing a shameless plug here at this hour of the night. God, I can't wait to fucking go to sleep. I love sleeping as well. That's the funny thing. The funny thing is that I can't sleep even though I love sleeping. It's bonkers. Anyway, so what was I going to finish with? Nothing, because I'm too tired to think. Good night. Good night, good night, good night.